Over the past couple of days, I've been involved in several discussions regarding SRM. What I sensed is that there's a general lack of clarity on what SRM is, what its purpose is, how it relates to category management, and how it fits into procurement in general. In this video, I will show you how to do it. Let's get started. When asked what good looks like in procurement, I like to work with the framework shown here. On the horizontal axis, we have the focus of procurement. It ranges from pure cost reduction focus to focus on profitable growth. While profitable growth sounds similar to cost reduction, it is something entirely different. With profitable growth, procurement ensures that the company offers the right products with the right innovation from the right suppliers. On the vertical axis, we have the mandate of procurement. It ranges from supporting the corporate strategy to shaping the corporate strategy. But in this video, we stick to the horizontal axis. One interesting observation is that companies in traditional industries are mostly toward the left of the framework. Here's where we find many companies from the automotive industry, oil and gas players, and companies in machinery and equipment. Having started my own career in this industry some 25 years ago, I was initially puzzled by this insight, but I believe to have an explanation now. Procurement at these traditional industry companies is very much focused on cost reduction. And cost reduction is the key interest of the CFO. And what does the CFO not like? Surprises. And in order to avoid surprises, both negative and positive, procurement has focused on tools like LTAs, in which suppliers are contractually obligated to deliver cost savings of 3% every year. Suppliers, of course, plan ahead for this and bake the LTA into the offer. In the end, they act like a bank and hold the money that actually belongs to the customer. So over the past 20 years, CFOs have made procurement predictable. And with this, they have taken the edge off procurement. On the other end of the spectrum, we have some of the best-known tech companies. In these companies, product marketing and procurement call the shots. Product marketing tries to figure out which products consumers will be excited about 3 years from now, while procurement goes out and looks for meaningful innovation that suppliers can make at scale. Product marketing and procurement then align their findings and translate this into a roadmap that engineering is asked to execute. The difference in focus typically also manifests itself in the way procurement is organized. While companies on the left, those that focus on cost reduction, are typically organized by categories, companies on the right, or those that focus on profitable growth, are typically organized by suppliers. So let's see how you move from left to right and how you move from a focus on cost reduction to a focus on profitable growth in 3 steps. In the first step, you're still on the left. You have a cost reduction focus and you organize by categories. Here, the most important objective for you is to do cost reduction right. The obvious way to do this is the purchasing chessboard. The purchasing chessboard does not only offer you 64 differentiated methods to reduce cost for a category or subcategory, it also gives you a clear guidance which of these 64 methods to pick in any given situation. In the second step, you move to the middle. Cost reduction is still super important to you. You recognize that a supplier focus is relevant, but all this talk about profitable growth feels too fluffy for you and strategic advantage sounds very long-term. You want high savings and you want them now. At the same time, you're wary about fully relying on categories. In the end, one supplier may be spread across many categories, and the supplier may have an annoying habit known as key account management. So you want to address suppliers without throwing the categories overboard. The way to go for you is the Pareto approach. In the Pareto approach, we make it personal for suppliers. We do this by segmenting suppliers by spend. Typically, we would expect to see 20 to 40 A suppliers accounting for 50% of your total spend, 100 to 200 B suppliers accounting for another 35%, and then thousands of C suppliers. We then make it personal for suppliers in the 3 different segments in different ways. For A suppliers, we elevate discussion to CEO level in a focus program. Your CEO reaches out to the CEOs of A suppliers and asks them for an upfront commitment to double savings this year. In return, your company offers the supplier to make the joint business more profitable. For each of the B suppliers, you nominate one person as a caretaker, and this person deploys the purchasing chessboard. And for the C suppliers, you conduct a haircut. What we have seen with the Pareto approach in practice is that it does much more than just delivering on a tactical objective of much higher savings very quickly. It primes your company for a mindset switch from categories to suppliers, and it allows your C-suite to build strong relationships to the CEOs of your suppliers. And this has come handy in many ways. For example, during the lockdown early this year, when supplier CEOs had to decide which of their customers they will allocate scarce resources to. But the Pareto approach all but ignores one group of suppliers, those that have little or no business with your company right now. The Pareto approach prioritizes suppliers by spend, and spend is a lagging indicator. It tells you which technologies were important for engineering a couple of years ago, but it does not tell you what will be important in the future. Think of a car maker. Today, suppliers of components for internal combustion engines have a lot of spend, but the future is electric. And this is how we come to the third step that takes us all the way to the right through supplier relationship management or SRM. This is where you focus on profitable growth. And SRM helps you to achieve profitable growth if it's objective. In my view, SRM is about driving desired supplier behavior in order to reach a lasting competitive advantage. We do that by introducing 9 supplier interaction models. And suppliers are slotted into these interaction models based on their current performance on the vertical axis and their strategic potential on the horizontal axis. The resulting distribution of suppliers is interesting. My experience shows that 95% of your suppliers will be in the left column, 5% of your suppliers will be in the center column, and just a handful of suppliers will be in the right column. The left column is a great target for automation with digital tools. Why would you waste any time on managing the relationship to a supplier who has 0 strategic potential? And a lot of people believe that SRM is about partnering with suppliers. If you reflect upon what I just said, it is almost the opposite. We will become totally transactional with the majority of our suppliers, but we will get really close to those few suppliers that really matter. In this video, I talked about the purchasing chessboard, the Pareto approach, and SRM. As you may know, I've written books about 2 of these topics, and there are many videos on my channel should you wish to dive deeper into any of these. Okay, now it is your turn. In the comments down below, let me know what is the current focus of your procurement and where you believe it should be. Should you have a question, I will get back to you within 24 hours, and I may even respond with a dedicated video. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye.